G'day, how you doing? My name is Josh Banks, and we're back here for another weekend of racing. That sounded so cringy, but oh well. So we are back for another weekend of racing, our final weekend of racing on F1 2018, as we have a contending race between Robin Kreft and Albert Ramirez Garcia. What was I going to say? So obviously this is going to be our last race or league race on F1 2018 as we move on to 2019, which actually releases in a couple of days if you've got the Legend Edition. So this is obviously is our season finale, having a 10 race season. Hold on. So battle between Albert and Robin is quite close, I'm pretty sure. Let me just check the points gap, but Robin does take a point lead going into this round in McLaren. Let me just check right now. So Robin takes a 16-point gap over Albert in the Mercedes for the championship. So Albert will need to, if he wants to win this championship, he will ideally need to win this race, with Robin further down the order around P8, P7. So that'll enable him to win the championship, where Robin just really needs to finish ahead of him if he wants to win the championship. So we're quite close today, I reckon, but yeah, we'll have to see. We have to wait and see what these guys' pace they've got, and yeah, looking forward to a good season finale. And obviously, I think the F3 championship is already wrapped up as well, except for the constructors' standings. And obviously, we have the F1 race is going to get title contention between Daniel Vale and John Lindbergh. Obviously I'm in there, but it's pretty unlikely that I'll get anywhere, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. That starts in 10 AM New Zealand time, which is in a couple of hours just from now. So we have all of our drivers coming down on the track to do their qualifying laps. I think the first one out is Joshua Law, who is usually always first out. So he's jumped on the ultra softs. Obviously the ideal strategy around here is I'm pretty sure the main strategy around here is hypers, ultras, so it's a 2-stop race. Yeah, we'll just see if anyone's willing to one-stop this race. Obviously it is a bit slower to one-stop, but you know, it's not out of the question if anyone will do it or not. So we'll get our telemetry up here. Obviously Abu Dhabi being one of those real technical circuits, you really need to nail every corner if you want to get a good lap. So we'll watch a bit on Josh here as he starts his first lap of the session. As he comes up into turn 1, it's quite critical you hit this inside apex into 1, and he's actually quite missed it. Fast left, right. Quite easy to uninstall the car if you've got a quite unstable setup, so it looks like he's got a quite nice setup there. So coming into the braking zone, you want to be using a little bit of curb on the right just to get the better entry speed into the corner, which will set you up for the hairpin, which you really need to get the traction out of if you're willing to get a good lap in. So not looking too bad here from Josh so far. He flicks open the DRS. Coming down into the hard braking zone, braking about the 100-meter board here. You want to clip this curb on the inside to get your car rotated. Looks like he just might have done that. Another DRS zone. So I think there's 2 DRS zones at Abu Dhabi. So coming up into this next braking zone. He's coming into the 3rd sector now. Fast left, right. It's quite a technical part. Obviously you want to be carrying as much speed through there as possible. and this weird braking zone coming downhill and sort of braking as soon as you come around this corner. You're braking as soon as you can. Quite easy to lock the brakes if you're not using ABS. And then you've got this technical slow section of the last sector, which leads you up to the fast right-hander before the last corner. And I think he's actually backed out of it. He comes on the last corner, gets a little bit tail happy on the rear. He's going to set an invalidated lap. We've got Lucas, who's actually in the barrier in through the last sector, through the last couple of corners. So he'll need to be boxing for a new set of a new wing. As we've got Ethan, who sets the fastest lap of the session so far with a 36.5 on my super softs. What the hell? TV doesn't shut off. What the hell? As we have March as well, we did a 37.3 on the supers. So I'm pretty sure, I reckon the whole time around here would roughly be around a 34. I'm not entirely sure what they can do, but a 34 to 35, just depending on F2 drivers alone. I'm pretty sure the F1 guys will be getting into the 33s. So we'll just have to wait and see. Not going to make any calls at the moment, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And obviously, Ethan, he's just out of that championship hunt. He's only 26 points behind Robin in the championship, so he's only just missed out on a shot at the championship this weekend. Same with Alex, I think he's 26 points behind as well. So Alex and Ethan stuck on 100 points each. So this race will also be deciding third of the championship as well, as Alex takes out a braking board. He's pulling back into the pits. So where's Robin? So he's coming out in the super softs, Robin. It's interesting because you really don't see him too much come out on the harder compounded tyres. You usually see him coming out on the middle compound or the softer compounded tyres. And it looks like he actually might be running a special helmet for this weekend as well. So that's a nice change for him, as Ethan improves as a 36.1 on 2 laps old super softs. As Robin comes around these last few corners now, we'll have to wait and see what the lap will be. He's actually pulling into the pits. Who else do we have a flying lap? Lucas is on an out lap. We have Albert is on a flying lap, so championship contender. Can he take the fight to Robin this weekend? If he can, I'm pretty sure it will be a really nice race to watch, as he flicks up the DRS on the first DRS straight of the track of the lap. High braking zone, not really changing his ears there, so he must be confident he can save enough ERS for the rest of the lap. But coming up to the second DRS zone, flicks it open, and this will be clearly will be our last quali session of F2 in 2018. Sad to see the thing go, but you know, F1 2018's had its ups and downs with glitches, bugs, everything like that. And 2019 will be a lot better. I'm gonna make sure of that, or I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a lot better than this. Obviously, when we came into 2018 thinking the graphics won't get better than this, they have. So yeah. Looking forward to getting into that. Obviously our evaluations will be, I think our first group of evaluations will start on the 14th of July at 8 or 10 AM New Zealand time. So Albert goes fastest with a 34.6 on the Ultra Softs, so he's showing his pace early on in the session. I was going to say we'd wait for a weather report, but Abu Dhabi's not really a place where it rains, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get one. Yeah, so the 14th of July is our first set of evaluations, and then pretty sure the 28th of July is the last set of evaluations. So waiting about a month to we get underway for the 2019 season. So we'll let our drivers get used to the game, find setups, etc. Just to get comfortable with the game again. or comfortable with the new game. Yeah, and then we'll get underway. I think it's sometime in August. We start pretty soon after the last evaluation, so yeah, it'll be looking forward to that myself. I'm pretty sure everyone else will be looking forward to it as well. 2018 has been a pretty good game. Yeah, like I said, it's had its ups and downs, and we've had our ways to not like it in some ways, but you know, it has been a good game, a big step up from 2017, an even bigger step up to 2018 for next year. So that 2019, if you're getting Legend Edition, does come out in a couple of days. So yeah, I'm personally getting that, so I'm quite excited for it. It's like Christmas little all over again. So we've got Alex on a flying lap. He's on the Ultra Soft, so we got a couple of comments. I'm going to check those for weather report if we got weather. Obviously, I'll expect what I expect. Yeah, I reckon no rain, by the way, Robin just said. Yeah, so no rain at all, and that'll be probably throughout the whole entire weekend as well, with F1, F2 and F3. So it's not surprising there. As Alex is on a flying lap, he's coming up to the final sector now. I actually forgot where the sector split is. I'm pretty sure it's back there. Yeah, so he's in the final sector now. Surprising that you, Robin, is watching the stream, because usually drivers would say would be giving them commentators curse, but yeah. As Alex comes around the last couple of corners now, on the Ultra Softs. See what time he can do. He's going to do a invalidated lap, so he's actually going to continue to do another lap on the same set. As we don't have Robin who's set a lap yet, so he'll probably be waiting to the end of the session to go out in a pair of hypers or ultras, depending on his strategy. I've been talking. Oliver has gone P3 with a 35.4 on the ultras, and Lucas has got P2 with a 35.3 on the hypers. So Albert got a pretty decent gap here in qualifying, around 6/10 of a second. Separate them. 7/10 of a second, sorry. But we'll just have to see what Robin can do. And so considering we're nearly finished, only 5 minutes away from the session, not a lot of people have set lap times. That is the wrong thing. So often we've seen, obviously we've seen these two Renaults. We've seen them have some pretty decent results throughout the season. They got P2, P4, P5 or P4 in Belgium, and then I got another good result. Nearly got another podium a couple of weekends ago. So, excuse me. We usually tend to see them qualify on the harder compound, but going on the ultras now. Morning hay fever, just excuse me. As they come out through the last couple of corners, he's backed out of it. So March is on a flying lap. He's coming through the middle sector, the last sector now. Obviously he was an F1 driver last season, but jumped into F2 certain reasons. Not been a shame, but just certain reasons. His Rango nice. I'm not entirely sure if that was his helmet he was running throughout the whole season, but have to see if anyone else is running a special helmet like Robin this weekend. I don't think Alex is. Albert's still in pits. I'm pretty sure Ethan's running the same helmet. Matthew's still in the same helmet, pretty sure. Yeah, again, don't correct me on these if I'm wrong. Don't know. No, I'm just gonna stop there because I'm not entirely sure what. As Oliver's retired from the session actually, so don't think he can improve his time, or he's just retired on the track somewhere. It's been on Josh, or Joshua Law. Sorry, Josh. Says his final flying lap of the year, or I assume it's his final flying lap of the year. Because ideally you don't want to be doing 2 laps on the hypersofts, because it will affect your race strategy. As Ethan will start his final flying lap, coming around the last couple corners now. As we see Albert still not out of the pits yet, with Alex as well. So Robin's come out. He's on the ultra softs, so depends what strategy he's going to go for. Ultras to hypers, or might be one stopping from ultras to supers. We never know. So quite a lot of strategy choices around here. So we'll have to wait and see what they do. So as he comes on the last couple of corners now, he's going to start his flying lap. Last flying lap in the papaya orange McLaren, Petrobras McLaren F1. I'm sure if he can carry them to victory in the championship, he will feel quite satisfied. Starts his flying lap. He's coming into turn 1. Quite clean there. Fast left right of turns 2 and 3. He misses the apex there, so that can quite unsettle his lap, or his run up to the hairpin. He fixed up the DRS. We do have Albert who's coming out now, so he's on his out lap. He's going on the hypersoft, so he's coming to the 2-stop. Alex, don't think he's coming out again. Lucas coming to the 2-stop as well. March on the ultras, Ethan on the ultras, Banana Josh, or Joshua Law on the hypersoft, so he's coming to the 2-stop. Same with Joseph and the Renault. Robin coming through the last sector now. We'll just have to see what this lap time could be, because obviously this will be his only lap time of the session. Rumours heard it that he is moving to F1 next season, or he's committing to. So it'll be nice to have a another guy into F1. So gets a little bit of tail. He'll be able to turn. I'm not sure what turn it is, but he's coming around the last corner. Can this be enough for pole position? It's good enough for P2 on the grid. So the 2 championship contenders, P1 and P2 on the grid. 34.8 for Robin. Only 2 tenths behind Albert on the ultra softs. As we wait for our last of our drivers to come around to finish their laps. To finish the final flying laps of the season 3 for Translation Formula 1. As we've actually seen a Mercedes who is fired off into... Or was that just me? I thought I saw Albert's fire off into the wall there, but... Yeah, so he's not going to improve his lap. Drummer with Ethan comes on the last corner now. See if he can better his time. Puts in P3, 35.1 for Ethan. So Alec has lost out to that. Waiting for Joshua Law now. He's on a flying lap. Coming through the second DRS straight. Robin getting out of his way. Slams the DRS shut in the braking zone. Coming through this last sector now. Fast right left. As we saw, he is capable of doing some good results. He got P2 in Monza He could have got his first race win there, but him dropping it didn't help that. And he just dropped right down the order again. Runs a little bit quite wide there. Could have invalidated his lap, but I think he's going to continue anyway because there's no point backing out. He comes on the last corner now. Will this be an improvement? Puts him P8 with a 35.9. I think only the next guy is Joseph in the Renault, who's going through the last couple of corners now. He's pulling into the pits, so he's done. So Lucas on a flying lap, or he just doesn't look like he's on. No, he's not. So we'll just have to wait for Joseph to get to the pits, retire. Jesus. We'll get underway for this race. So, two championship contenders, P1 and P2. Obviously, if Albert does want to win this championship, he needs Robin to be further down the order than he is. And Robin just needs to stay behind him, or ahead of him, or a place behind him, or ahead of him. Or it could be a couple places down. Still not lose the championship, but, yeah. So, yeah, it'll be quite an interesting race as we come into Abu Dhabi for the final Grand Prix of this Season 3 for Transnation Formula 1 and the F2 category. Two Renaults looking out the back row this weekend. We've seen them do that a couple times. Joseph not even sending a lap in that session, so we'll move on to the race as we'll get into an exciting Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Obviously, I have set the time to dusk to night, so it will be darkening through the race. So starts off at dusk and then it goes to a night. So obviously in F3, they're just finishing off quali now. With about 3 minutes to go, Brett Keane is on provisional pole on the Hypersofts. So will Brett look to take his first, or his second race win of the season? Two-time champion of the Transnation Formula 1. As we'll get wait for our drivers to ready up as they sort out their strategy and all that kind of jazz. As we start for the formation lap, we'll go through our starting grid for this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So on pole position, I think it's his second pole position, or it's not his first pole position, but it's on pole position we have Albert Ramirez Garcia in the Mercedes, championship contender for this race. Behind him we've got Robin Kreft in the Papaya Orange McLaren in P2, Ethan in the Scuderia Royal Tossa in P3. You got Alex in the Williams in P4, Lucas in P5 and the other Toro Rosso, and then we've got Oliver in the Red Bull in P6. I'm just going to change this real quick. And then we've got March in the Ferrari in P7. Obviously saw his teammate Amar, who was racing midway through the season, left, so he's the only Ferrari remaining. And then behind him we've got Joshua Law in the Force India, or as we know now, the Racing Point, but we're going to call it Force India since it's 2018. And then P9 we have Matthew in the Renault, two Renaults looking at the back row, and then he's got his teammate Joseph right behind him. So yeah, as we finish the formation lap, tires will be getting drivers will be getting their tires up to temp. I was about to say tires getting their drivers up to temp. What am I, stupid or what? Jesus Christ. As we'll chuck that on. So yeah, we'll need Albert to. I mean, Albert, if he wants to win this championship, he needs to hope that Robin gets caught up in some drama at the start. If he's just hoping to take this points gap away, 16 points separate them. Oh, Albert's actually hit the wall. So obviously, they're both starting the ultra soft, so same strategy call if they're doing the one stop from ultras to supers, but supers is quite a bad tyre around here, so as we wait for the rest of the field to get up on the grid, wait for the 5 red lights. So 3, 4, 5 red lights ahead of the drivers for this last race of the Trans-Asian Formula 1 World Championship. F2, we're going to hold again, and it's lights out, and away we go. Looks like Albert's got a good start. Ethan and the Toro Rosso's had a good start. He's already alongside Robin, as Albert's got a clean start. Robin's got a clean start. Alex has dropped down into P6 from P4 on the grid, so he's lost out. The two Toro Rossos in P3 and P4 coming down into the first sector. Gotten away cleanly so far. No real damage. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure throughout the whole field. So gotten away cleanly. So yeah, Robin on the back here of Albert. So obviously Albert needs to pull out a good gap here and get those Toro Rossos ahead of him if he's, or Robin getting quite close there to Albert. Not entirely sure the straight line speed cornering ability of these guys, so we'll have to wait and see what they're going with. The two Toro Rossos had a brilliant start. Lucas got ahead of Alex, so they've locked out P3 and P4 as we see Joshua Law run wide coming into this last sector, as we have a Renault who has spun of Matthew, so he's gotten caught up with another driver, so he spun out of the fast left right. See, he just needs to claw his way back through, and March gets a 5-second stop go penalty for exceeding track limits. As we see the front pack cleanly getting away, Albert sets the fastest lap of the race of 41.2. So yeah, we'll not sure if anyone will be pitting. No one's pitting, so a good start here from everyone. No damage at all, as Albert is actually sort of starting to pull away here from Robin in P2. So this is what he needs to do if he wants to win this championship. He needs to pull away, get those two Toro Rossos ahead of him, just to get him a bit more comfortable with this whole situation. As obviously Robin will be wanting to push hard as well. Doesn't want to lose sight of Albert. As you see, Banana Josh falling away here from Alex. Alex didn't have the best of starts. He's dropped down to P6 from P4 on the grid. I think he might have got tangled up in a little bit of pushing and barging there, but yeah, he needs to claw his way back. Oliver up at the P5 and the Red Bull behind his junior team and the Toro Rossos. 3 and 4. Albert's already got a 1.2 second gap over Robin. So Albert here just looks like he's got quite good pace here in the fuck. Sorry, go away. He's got quite good pace here during start of the stint. So Robin gets a bit tail happy through those last couple of corners. Obviously DRS is enabled. Lap 3 DRS gets enabled. So Robin is out of DRS range of Albert so far. So Albert's done a good job to get away from Robin, pull out that second gap than he needs to without so he can get out of DRS range. But as we see Toro Rosso spinning out of through the first sector, it is of Ethan. As we just saw him just drop it in the background. He dropped it on the curb, and now he needs to. He just needs to claw his way back. Obviously, that doesn't help Robin. He need Oliver now, who's actually not too far off Lucas here in the Toro Rosso in P3. Albert got a 1.6 second gap, so he's pulled another 4/10 over Robin. So Albert here really showing his pace in the Mercedes. And obviously if this was realistic car performance, he would be way off in the distance by now. But obviously we've got them on equal. So he just pulled 2/10 just through like a couple corners. So that just shows his true pace during the race. But yeah, these guys starting to pan out a little bit. Only real battle we've got at the moment. Oliver getting on the back here of Lucas on the Toro Rosso, coming through his last couple corners. He runs a bit wide. He's going to dive it down the inside. Coming around the last corner. This could set up Alex quite nicely for a swap those positions. As Oliver tries to go around the outside, he puts Lucas a little bit off, and that puts Oliver up into P3, and that has put Alex right onto the back of Lucas in P4. So Alex nearly back up to where he started at P4, but obviously not the ideal start he wanted. But yeah, March another 4.1 seconds behind, and then the rest is history really. But yeah, Albert, this lap's actually closing. So Robin's actually gained a couple tenths here on Albert, in this lap alone. So, are we seeing Robin's tyres kick into life now? Are we seeing his confidence come, his true pace coming back? As I say that, so actually, I've noticed Albert has got quite a good. He's got a quite good straight line speed. So as we saw there, we saw him pull 2/10 just on the straight. So is the straight line speed helping him quite a lot, or is Albert just Robin just quite has made us out just good through the corners? 1.5 seconds separate them. As he'll come across the line, we'll see what lap times they do. So Robin does a 39.9. Oh, I miss Albert's because I'm so stupid. But yeah, Oliver and Alex as well. Don't forget Lucas as well. He's still behind them, even though he lost both positions. Alex right on the back of Oliver, P3. Yellow first, take the one. Oh, Lucas has actually lost it out of turn 3, and that has put him out of the race. And Bernardo Josh gets his first 30-second time penalty of the race. So we have our first retirement of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So that is Lucas's season done and dusted. Oh, as we see Bernardo Josh here and Joseph in the Renault. He's going to try to go on the outside up into the braking zone, and he gets the move done. And good job there by Joseph in the Renault. He's making his way up the order, leaving his teammate behind. So he's clawing his way up the front. So that's good to see from him. Alex has made a move on Oliver here for P3 through the last sector. He's got the move done and dusted. So he's up into P3. We'll just have to wait and see if he can claw that 4.3 second gap to Robin. If he's really desperate for that for a better finishing position. But this gap not really changing at the moment. Still around 1.5 to 1.7 seconds it sits at. 140.0 for him. As we didn't see what Robin did, because I'm stupid again. March gets his first 3-second time penalty. Lap 6, only had one retirement so far of Lucas. We saw a good start from the two Toro Rossos. They were sitting P3 and P4 until Ethan dropped it, and then obviously Lucas dropped it out of turn 3 as well. So a good start from the Toro Rosso boys sort of turned upside down. Ethan's actually retired from the session. Oh, he's actually put it in the fence. So it looks like he's just had enough. So yeah, looks like Robin might have made a little bit of a mistake, because it's jumped up to 2.2 seconds in the span of just like a sector. So we'll just have to wait and see what lap these guys are going to pit. And you can already see Alex is significantly closing in on Robin. So is Robin... It looks like Robin might be losing a little bit of pace here, because he has lost a good second and a bit to Alex in just a lap. So it looks like Robin's race pace isn't looking too good here. He's losing quite a bit of time to Albert in P1, and he's losing a lot of time to Alex in P3 as well. But we'll just have to wait and see when these guys pit. If they're doing the one stop or not. He's already lost another good 0.3 to Albert alone, just there. Oh, he runs a little bit deep into that, coming out of the first sector, sorry. But yeah, he is saving quite a fair bit of ERS, so he's still on 100% ERS. And same with, his Banana Josh is actually disconnected. So Joshua Law, will need another invite. I can't invite him, so he will need another invite from the drivers. Just depends if he can get an invite in time, just so he doesn't lose too much time. But yeah, Robin nearly 3 seconds behind Albert now, alone, and then Alex is rapidly closing in on him, gained around another 0.8 of a second just through that first and second sector, and Oliver only 0.9 behind him still. So Oliver's still staying with Alex. So don't put Oliver out of the question if he can really upset this championship. So yeah, Robin got two really determined and aggressive drivers coming onto the back of him, where he sees his championship rival sort of just drive off into the distance, as Oliver gets his 3-second time penalty. No one else has really got time penalties except for March, and then Banana Josh, who's actually still disconnected. So that gap to Alex is nearly under 2 seconds, so Robin not really showing any pace here, unless he is dropping back a bit, because he is saving quite a fair bit of ERS. So I'm wondering if that's the case, if he's just falling back, he's just dropping back in this first stint, wait for Albert's tyres to kill or die out, and then sort of start to make his move. Obviously he is saving quite a fair bit of ERS. Same with Alex, Albert using overtaking the straight, so he is wanting to pull that gap out. Oh, Jesus Christ. So yeah, we haven't really seen Robin come off medium ERS, so it's not the question whether he can win this race or not. It just depends what he's doing with the strategy. Because he is losing quite a fair bit of time, but I don't entirely think he's pushing 100%. I'm pretty sure he's just waiting for Albert's tyres to die out and then make a push when he's struggling a bit. Yellow flag sector 3. As we've actually seen Alex, we see Oliver coming in first to blink, coming into the pits. He's going to chuck on the hypersofts, so he's going to do. Looks like he might do ultras, hypers, ultras. If he is, because he obviously is committing to the 2-stop now. going through the windy Abu Dhabi pit exit. So he'll show a good amount of pace now. Obviously, he's on the showing that he's on the fresh set of hypersofts. But you can see that sort of see that strategy coming into play now, because Robin is gaining on Albert here, gain another 5/10 or so. So, is this what Robin's doing? Is this a smart strategy call that he's trying to play out here? If he is doing that strategy, he's not really moving it off medium ERS at all. So, yeah. Actually, that gap has jumped quite significantly now, 3.3 seconds. I think Robin might have made a little bit of a mistake, because Alex is close another 7/10 or so. Alex was given a 5-second stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that is really, if Robin finds that out, then that'll really make him a bit more comfortable with the whole entire situation. We have yellow flags at the one. Oh, Robin! He has dropped it out of turn 3 and 4, and that has given Albert a 12-second gap now. But obviously, if Robin stays here, he'll still win the championship. I mean, that will lose him. That'll give Alex the undercut. Well, I'm pretty sure that'll give Alex the undercut on Robin. But, oh, that's really unfortunate there for Robin, because he was looking quite nice with the strategy and everything. As Bernardo Josh sets the fastest lap of the race. Sorry, Joshua Law sets the fastest lap of the race. So, clearly, Robin needs to be pitting now. Oh, it's Robin, and he gets a 3-second time penalty. And he's got wing damage. I did not realise the wing damage, but he's got wing damage. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, he's coming into the pits now. As Oliver sets the fastest lap of the race, clearly getting the undercut on Robin. So he's lost a couple positions there alone. So he's getting his wing changed. So if Robin wants to win this championship, he needs to finish P5. He needs to finish P5 if he wants to win this championship. Obviously, he is an effective P5 because he's actually in. March isn't pitted, and Matthew isn't pitted. No, not Ethan. Matthew. Joseph hasn't pitted. Sorry. So he's an effective P4 now, and if he loses another position, that could be because he needs to finish. He needs to score 9 points this race for him to win the championship. If he doesn't, if he drops to P6 in this race, he's lost the championship. And if Albert wins, He just needs to stay. He needs to. If Albert just needs to win this race. Robin needs to stay within P5 of him, 5 positions of him. He needs to be within 9 points. Or Robin needs to score 9 points if he wants to win this championship. I don't know why, but this dusk is not settling down. I've set it to ×5, dusk to midnight. Have I put the settings wrong? I'm checking F3 quickly, because I think I might have put the settings wrong. Yeah, they're already at night. Oh, put the settings wrong. God damn it. Oh, actually. We've seen Oliver get the undercut here on Albert, who's actually jumping the ultra softs. I mean, super softs. Roman gets another 3-second time penalty. My apologies to all the F2 drivers. That's my mistake. I've accidentally put it on dusk, but I tried to fade it in. Well, I did what Brett told me to do by putting from dusk ×5, which goes to night. And it said it'll go like halfway through the race, so. If I have done this, then I'm terribly sorry to everyone who's racing, because that could make a bit of a difference. So we see Robin in P4. He is in that a position where he still will win the championship. He's got 15 laps to go. At that 14 as Albert comes across the line. Yeah, not much battling going on at the moment. Really only Oliver and Albert who are on top P1 and P2. Obviously Oliver is an effective P1, but he will need to make another stop. As Matthew gets his first 3-second time penalty. So Albert here, getting on the back of Oliver in P1. Yeah, not really much going on now, except for Albert on Oliver. He's going to try to do a move, as Oliver's actually just let him through. Oh, he's given a bit of a tap! And Albert has nearly dropped it. He just managed to hold on to it. Yeah, Oliver there. He's lost the position to Alex out of all of this. Let me just have a gaze right here. Let me just see if I'm correct or not. So right now, Robin is completely safe from losing this championship. He's still effectively going to win this championship if he keeps it like this. But if he disconnects, and he is lagging quite a bit, that will really upset him. Really, really upset him. As we come back, oh, Oliver pipped again. He's chucked on the ultra softs, and obviously Robin will need to be pitting again as well. So Alex only 1.5 seconds behind Albert. So Albert's lost quite a bit of time through that first stop. Obviously these two are doing the one stop, so they don't need to pit again. But So we have 10 laps remaining here of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Obviously, it would be a lot better if it was night. My apologies to everyone who is watching and everyone who is driving. My stupid ass did not change the settings. So Alex still only 1.3 seconds behind of Albert there. So if Alex gets past Albert, he could upset his championship. So ideally Robin will probably wanting to pit now, as Elvis is the fastest lap of the race with a 37.5. As I'm going to munch on some snakes. Strawberry snakes. That's my breakfast. Sorry if this is loud, but is my mic buzzing out? Oh. There it is. That's better. There we go. Apologies for that. As Alex gets a 3-second time penalty. As we start lap 20, 8 laps to go in this race. So, Albert here is extending that gap to Alex. He pulled another around 0.5 of a second. Got that up to 2.2 seconds again. But Robin pits as March has actually jumped them. But obviously Robin will have the fastest tyre, being on the hyper softs. March being on the super softs. We'll expect to see that gap close and see him get up there. Albert gets another 3-second time penalty. Is going to see these penalties now. Albert has got 3 seconds. Alex 2 warnings, penalty, warning. So Alex has got 6 seconds. Alex has got 6 seconds. Oliver's only got 3 seconds. March is like 5 penalties. Robin 2 penalties. He's only got 2 penalties, but as we go on to lap 21 of 28, we have 7 laps remaining of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, as Joseph gets a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. As Robin's actually closing in quite significantly on here on March. We will watch this until he gets past. Double front lock up there for March. As he's already within the DRS range. So Oliver here looking really good here for a good finish. He is effectively in P3. Oh, as I try to go side by side into turn 2 and 3, but as you can see, I made the settings wrong because F3 on lap 17 already in dark, complete dark. So, yep, that was my end. Sorry about that. As Robin's steaming past in March here, P4, he gets the move done just through this middle sector. So that is job done there for Robin. Made him more comfortable in this race with the championship and all that. So Robin, if you're listening, you're in the championship position at the moment. Because he says he does have the stream up, so. Oliver, P3, could get his second podium position of the season. Him getting his first podium position this season at Britain, getting a P3 finish there. It could have gotten stripped away from him, but as we see, Robin do the fastest lap of the race with a 37.5. So he's won another set of hypersofts. So he's really on the charge now. But yeah, Alex losing a bit more time to Albert there. So that gap that he was closing is shot back up to where it was. I think Banana Josh is connected back anyway. No, oh, actually he has connected back. We have 4 laps to go here for this quite exciting Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. If the finishing stage is, if this is the last lap, and if the race finishes like this, Robin is your F2 champion. So, Obviously, Albert and Robin having a good tussle back in F3 last season. They were really the championship, contenders back last season. So Albert got the upper hand on him last season, so he won the F3 championship. But this season, at the moment, looks like Robin will have the upper hand now. So at the moment, Robin has won the championship. If it finishes like this, Sector 3, Banana Joshua Law has gone, and the two Renaults are actually having a little bit of a scrap here at the back. Haven't seen much of them in this race, but Joseph will have DRS here on Matthew down the back straight, puts it into overtake, goes down the inside, down into the braking zone, gives him a little bit of a tap, but he's got the move done, as March gets another time penalty. So that's job done for Joseph. And Joshua Law is gone. So we have 2 laps remaining in this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So we come on to the penultimate lap now. Albert leads from Alex, leads from Oliver, and then Robin in P4, and then March, and then Joseph, and then Matthew finish off the grid. As we're on the penultimate lap now. going on to this last lap of this quite eventful race. Obviously it would have been better for his night, but yet again I'm sorry for that. Brett Yadabast. Should just let me leave it on night. Or official. As Albert is just going to cruise home here. Sector 1. Oh, see one of the Renaults go off. Joseph in the Renault, number 52 Renault. He's gone off. Out of turn 4. Oh, out of turn 3, sorry. As we come on to the final lap of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Oh, we get a 3-second time penalty. Alex 3.6 seconds behind in P18. I was looking at the tyres real quick. P2. Robin gets a 3-second, but that will still be fine because he is 14 seconds ahead of March, who does have quite a big amount of time penalties. So. As Albert comes through this last sector now, he's had quite a good season. Got a few podiums, couple pole positions. Unfortunately, actually no, he's got a race win under his belt. But you know, just the way he's driven, he's got to be happy with his result this season. But Albert Ramirez Garcia will come through the final corner, and he is going to cross the line to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, but it won't be enough. Alex comes home in P2, Oliver in P3, but Robin, after losing his championship last season to Albert, is going to come through the final corner, and he is going to be your Transnation Formula 2 World Champion for Season 3. Congratulations, Robin. So Robin is crowned your official F2 World Champion. As March is in P5, P6, and 7 of the 2 Renaults. So we'll invite our top 3 and our title winner here. Congratulations to Oliver as well. He got a P3 finish. So we'll invite these guys in here. So they're going to come in, or they're going to wait a bit. So you got Albert here. So Albert, you got your race win, but unfortunately it wasn't quite enough for you to win the championship. Obviously you had quite a good amount of pace at the first stint, which allowed you to pull away from Robin, but yeah, result from you, but yeah, unfortunately it wasn't quite enough today.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations to Robin for his F2 world champion. Yeah, it's a shame that I lost the championship by 1 point, but anyway, I'm really happy. I didn't realize that this season I was gonna be at the top, fighting for the championship until the last race. But man, I'm really happy. Yeah.
So you definitely got to be happy with the season you've had. got yourself a race win, couple pole positions and some podiums. So yeah, big congratulations to you. And yeah, next time we'll see you is round 1 Australia next season. So yeah, congrats on the run up in the championship. We have Alex in here. Alex, can you hear me, mate? Alright, P2 in the race, you had a quite tricky start, getting, I don't know what happened to you, but you dropped back a couple positions from P4, but you managed to climb your way back up and get yourself a P2 finish.
Yeah, well, start wasn't that great. Just got pinched on the apex there, just struggling for grip again, like I usually do, like a practice. But yeah, race was going well. I ran a pretty unstable setup, but it was good enough. I mean, I ran the setup so we could get some speed out of the car. The tires were just shot at the end, like 80% on the bloody red. So. Yeah, we had some pretty good car speed. Just had to keep it and make sure that rear was just not sliding out. And we got second place. Didn't have enough pace. Albert was just a little bit fast, and I just couldn't catch a gap. So good shot to Albert there. He did everything he could, and I was trying my best to obviously get that race win, but no, it just wasn't to be. And but still third place in the championship. I'm pretty proud of that. So. Good stuff.
Yeah, obviously, if you didn't realise, I accidentally muddled up the settings a little bit, so the time didn't go to night, but that might have had a little bit of an effect. But I'm sorry about that. Robin, can you hear me?
Yes.
So you are officially the F2 champion for season 3. You know, you've definitely shown your pace throughout the season, and it's Oliver joins. Definitely shown your pace throughout the season. A bit nail biting throughout that end of that first stint where you dropped it out of turn 3, but it was P4 was just enough for you to win the championship.
Yeah, I didn't think that the ultras will go that fast off. I lost the car completely for some reason, and I thought I was on the wrong strategy with two hypers, but it was enough today.
Yeah, so obviously, next season you will be the defending champion. Depends which category you go into. I'm pretty sure you've signed up for F1, so that'll be quite interesting to see. Obviously, big congratulations to you, and yeah, we'll see you next season in Australia.
Thank you.
Oliver, you got your second podium season. Obviously, your first being your home race in Britain, but yeah, you took those incidents and you really used them quite effectively, and you got a P3 finish out of it.
Yeah, like I didn't get caught up too much with the Torossos, which I was quite happy. My start was very good, going around the outside of sort of turn 1, and obviously I got helped by Robin's incident getting into P3, but I had good pace and obviously showing up from P6 up to P3.
Around 40 minutes, where they're racing Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where Daniel Vale and John Lindberg will go out for the championship. So tune in then. Obviously, we'll see you guys next season for round 1 of season 4. We will be on F1 2019. So this is goodbye to F1 2018 for now. But been a quite eventful season, but yeah, hopefully all these guys will be happy with the result in the championship, and yeah, My name is Josh Banks, and it's been a pleasure to broadcast this season to you, and we'll see you in round 1 next season in Australia.